Okay, so here we are. Hello and welcome to episode. I have to hide that again. Okay. Hello and welcome to episode number 43 of Common Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, the show where we look at the YouTube comments that I receive on my channel to ask the questions that you might have and that other users apparently have on the channel. I hope you have all a great week so far. For us today, it's like a rainy Wednesday morning, or I mean, it's not raining right now, but it looks like it's going to rain after a couple of sunny days. And yeah, as always, everything that I share in this video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. And that said, actually can bring the overlay back, I guess, or yeah, animations are done. Thanks for everyone that subscribed since the last episode. So if you haven't, now is the time. Like, subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss out on future content as well. And yeah, with that, let's jump into Agora Pulse, the tool that we use to manage social media and all the comments. You can find it linked in the description down below. Yeah, if you have any questions, by the way, you can ask them in the chat and they will address them either if they fit in between or otherwise at the end of the video. And since right now we have weekly episodes of Common Chaos Live, we start with the comments that happened 6 days ago. I see there are some hearts flying. Thank you very much. I didn't know that the chat integration shows that as well. Yeah, and now I know where the hearts come from. Yeah. Not sure if you heard, but Irina was saying in the background, yeah, now you see, or you see, yeah. Anyway, so first comment we have from last week was, will I ever be able to sell my Pi coins? Well, technically you are already able to sell your Pi coins since you're allowed to buy goods and services for or with it. If you are not sure where or what, I have 2 videos that show the process and so on. But for example, if we check on Reddit games for Pi, you can see a lot of games, and yeah, like hardware should also be here, or it's on the other. There are 2 games for Pi on Reddit. So one is with the number, one is with the written word for. And yeah, so you can get new phones, you can get hard drives, you can get DJI drones, you can get cameras, you can get games, you can get iPods and whatever, not iPods, but like Apple products and so on. Obviously, you need the required amount of Pi. And if you use your Pi to buy a product, you can then sell that product on eBay, and voila, you have just sold your Pi indirectly, the way it's allowed, and actually got money for them. If it makes sense, it's something that you have to decide, because right now at, I don't know, like 20 to 25 cents that Pi are valued at in most of those transactions, it will not change your life. So if you, I don't know, like give away your Pi to get a $200 or so, or $100, even if you live in a poor country, those $100 will not change your life. On the other hand, if you don't give away your Pi, but you hold them for the next 3 to 5 years, either they are worthless in 3 to 5 years, yeah, but then again, $100 more or less will not change your life, or Pi succeeds and they will be worth a lot more, in which case we're not talking about $100, but a probably much bigger amount. So yeah, but it's up to you. If you feel like, hey, the project is done, I don't want to deal with it anymore, and I just want to get some cash, yeah, check out my videos about spending Pi coins and then use that to buy some stuff, either, yeah, gift cards, games, hardware, whatever, and then sell that hardware, and voila, you have fiat currency, yeah. So, that's spam, yeah, so blah, blah, blah. Be aware that anybody that offers to buy your Pi coins, so like directly for US dollars or so, is first of all violating the rules, and you would be violating the rules, risking to lose your entire account. But second of all, most likely a scammer that will ask you to send your coins first and then will not give you anything. So do not do that, yeah? Like, yeah, again, if you want to sell your Pi coins, then trade with people that are verified, like the Games for Pi subreddits. And yeah, like do it that way. You know you will get your product. You know that you can then sell your product, and yeah. Yeah, KYZ, it's been a year and I don't have even had a chance to apply. Yeah, I mean, there is a video about that. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Or actually, I'm not. Like, you can find it on my channel. It's called like blah, blah, blah. Pi Network, why you may be unable to start KYZ application and what to do about it. Yeah, it's like not that old. You should find it reasonably quick on the channel. And yeah. Moving on, next one also about Pi. If we ignore the blurry picture the browser gives, the biggest problem for me is that I got an ID where I was 30 years old and can't match the photo with my face. That's bad luck, but as I mentioned in the comments, that yeah, like there's a reason why your IDs, at least passports in most countries when you're younger, are only valid for a couple of years, and only then when you get older they are then valid for 10 years. And so yeah, like if your ID is from when you're 13, you probably just should get a new ID, because I would assume if you look that different that you might anyway already be close to the expiry. Yeah. Same. Should I become a validator? I mean, everybody has to decide that for themselves, but obviously it would make sense if you pass KYZ and then you apply to become a validator and perform like, I don't know, 5 to 10 validations, which would mean that obviously that the whole process goes faster, because if each person that passes, so you then validate 5 other people and they validate each 5 other people. So suddenly we're talking about 30 people or 31, including you, totally validated. Yeah, but yeah, you have to decide. Yeah, is it going to be a dead project? Bondex, yeah, Bondex actually is interesting. I wasn't able to log in for some time, or actually I thought I wasn't able to log in since the latest update, because they moved the login with LinkedIn option. But when you log in with your Google account or with the same email address that was used on your LinkedIn account, you can actually log in. But it's confusing because it still asks you then again to enter your first name, last name, and so on. I figured it's a new account and not my old one, but apparently it's my old one. However, I noticed, and that's like disheartening, or not disheartening, I still have to look up the details about it, that now the Bondex that were called Bondex in the app are now called Bond Points. And it looks like, again, I'm not sure about it, so don't take it for like it is like this, but assume that it's might be different. But it looks like the team made a very nasty switch here to have their BNDX Bondex token, which they also had an IPO or ICO, so initial coin offering, and have been selling as far as I know, so like to get investments. And the Bondex that we were earning in the app suddenly are not Bondex anymore, but just Bond Points. And from what I saw so far, Bond Points could be used. They're like, the new app looks nice, the new website looks nice, and in the app you have like a job section where companies can say, hey, I'm looking for a developer, blah, blah, blah. And apparently with your Bond Points, you can push your resume to the top of the list if you apply for a job or something like that. And there might be other benefits as well. But if that was indeed a switch where it's now, okay, you don't get any kind of crypto for your now Bond Points, so you, then that's going to be a huge dick move. Yeah, it would remind me a little bit of, what was it called? Sperax Play, there where we had the Sperax Play points or whatever, with in the white paper mentioned that at some point users will be able to exchange them at a rate to be seen for Sperax, and then they just shut down the whole project, and nobody got anything. And here it would be similar, that users signed up for the Bondex app and pushed their button once per day and set up their profile in order to earn Bondex, and then suddenly it's just Bond Points. Again, not sure about that yet. I just yesterday managed to log into my account again and noticed the difference. So I'm looking into it and we'll make a video about it. What would be a middle ground solution? So I would understand if the team is like, shit, our users have mined, in quotes, by pushing a button so many BNDX, we cannot honor that they introduce the Bond Points and will introduce a ratio at which you could redeem Bond Points for Bondex crypto. But yeah, so right now I couldn't find any details yesterday, and so like we'll have to see. It's possible that Bondex again pulled a fast one on the community this way and basically just turned your potential crypto into just in-app currencies, which would probably harm the project, but we will see. Again, I'll look into it and I'll share some updates there as well. And Yeah, that's interesting. Like on the B versus Pi network video that I made years ago, that both will succeed. And as like I said here, I'm not sure. I don't know, because while Pi is moving slow, it's making progress, and we have a blockchain, and there's like software development kits for developers to actually integrate with the Pi blockchain, and like, so there's KYC progress. Whereas in B network, they also had a couple rounds of KYC, and I'm personally am KYC verified. But outside of that, everything they've added is basically just ad integrations, like sign up for this app and play till level 40 to get that amount or those points. And then an ability for users to, at least they claim, to withdraw then the money that you got from completing those tasks and challenges. And which basically just means they get some money for you completing tasks, or real money, and they give users a part of that money. But I haven't seen, sadly, any real progress in terms of a B cryptocurrency or so. I mean, there's also a wallet functionality in the app, but like for what? Because there's no B token, blah blah blah, and so on. So it's hard to say, especially since I haven't been able to actually withdraw from the app. So like my withdrawal attempts so far all have been denied or declined or failed or whatever. So I mean, it's not that I'm not covering it. It's like I'm really trying to figure out like how it's working, what it's doing. But if I would have to look between two projects that looked very similar, with actually B network having the bigger pockets initially, just based on the name B.com, so the domain name was really expensive. It seems like while Pi network makes slow and consistent progress with like a horrible graphics designer, B network is, for some reason, or it looks like they're, in quotes, milking the cow by giving people, okay, perform this in-app action, watch ads, sign up here, do that, and giving people some money, which may or may not be withdrawable. Again, haven't seen anybody that withdrew so far or heard of anybody, but I'm also not in touch with every B network member, so making money for them at the same time. So, but we'll see. I'll look into it as well, and once I know for sure, there will also be an update. Yeah, thanks for explaining. Very detailed. Very dedicated. Not seeing a single comment not replied to. Yeah, like doing my best. Like, I mean, at the end, as I mentioned also in the reply to the guy, it also helps me because in the comments I see what you guys are asking yourself, which means I know which videos I might want to or should make. Is it possible that if you've done a name change along with sending your KYC, that it could take longer due to that? Yes, it's not just possible, it's the way it works. If you have a name change also, then that delays, or not delays, but it means that only very simple name changes can be handled by the AI. Everything that's not super simple, like, I don't know, Mike to Michael or something like that, will require human review, and that just slows things down. Same comment. That's from today, yesterday. My Alpha Network app is not loading for the last 1 week. It doesn't show any internet error. The screen shows the app's loading, but it doesn't load. What's the problem? What you can try is, instead of using your Wi-Fi, use your mobile internet or vice versa. The app is running for me at the moment and for most others. So like, it's likely something very specific to your device. So just try connecting in a different way, restarting your phone. And Resal is high. You would have to clarify that question because I have no idea what coin you're referring to. Hi Christian, can I use my Ethereum wallet on Binance? No, that's not how. Now I understand the question. I did not understand it at first. You do not have an Ethereum wallet at Binance. Binance has an Ethereum wallet and you can deposit to it, but it's not your wallet. So not your keys, not your crypto, you can just theoretically use your Binance deposit address as well. I'm actually, or I used to use my Coinbase Ethereum deposit address to, Binance might actually not work. You have to check, CoinMarketCap, You have to check, in that case, for CoinApp, you redeem your coin for XYO tokens, and XYO tokens are not listed on Binance. So you can use your Ethereum address you can actually in Coinbase in Coinbase go to deposit, select XYO, and it will show you an Ethereum address, and that's the one you could use. Or actually, even easier because Coinbase is directly integrated, so you can just enter your Coinbase email address in the settings like I'm showing in this specific payout proof video, if I'm not mistaken. And then it will go directly to your Coinbase account. Or you can use your regular Ethereum wallet, or if you were to want to deposit directly to an exchange like Huobi or KuCoin, then that would work as well. But Binance would not work because Binance does not support XYO, so the coins would not be visible to you, and Binance would charge you a fee if you would want them to send it to another wallet, and that would probably be like a $50 fee or more. Yeah, I've done my KYC, congrats. Yeah, so on Alpha Network, since they have a new KYC, what are the requirements for that KYC? They are literally shown in the video. Yeah. Then why is Alpha Network, or they are not listing on other exchanges? That's what's worrying me. Their exchange is worse. Well, first, their exchange is not a real exchange because it's not in any way like with an order book that you could say I'm willing to buy for this, and somebody else could say I'm willing to sell for this, and then somehow it should match up. But you can just say how much you want to buy or how much you want to sell, and then the transactions happen mysteriously in the background, where the team decides basically which transaction is handled and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But besides that, I honestly don't think that there's a blockchain behind Alpha Network because there's no proof of blockchain. So one of the core principles, or one of the core things of cryptocurrency is decentralization. Yeah, so the big benefit is like there's not one bank that has whatever 1 or 10 database servers, and where a bank employee can or a developer or some issue or whatever can just delete your balance. Or like, I mean, if you are active on the internet, you might have noticed that over the last 2 years or so there have been cases where users report whatever, like in their Chase bank account suddenly money is missing or blah blah blah. Yeah, that's what happens centralized, because it can either be a bug or it can be on purpose, or an employee manually adjusts your balance entries. Of course, there should be measures to stop that, but still centralized it's possible because there's one centralized storage. Yeah, the whole thing about cryptocurrency is to be decentralized, which means you have a bunch of nodes across the world that are not controlled by the same person or entity. So you are running a Pi network node, I am running one, whatever, like 10 other people are running a Pi network node, and we don't know each other personally, which means even if we wanted to manipulate the database, so the ledger, and say add coins to our own wallets, you would do that for your wallet, but then all the other nodes would say, hey, that transaction isn't valid because it doesn't check out, and would decline it. Yeah. And so a cryptocurrency to be decentralized also needs nodes that are decentralized. Yeah. And with that then usually comes a blockchain explorer, so where you can look up all the wallets, all the transactions, and so on. Yeah. And Alpha Network doesn't have that. You have like a fake, in my opinion, fake blockchain explorer in the app, so where you can look up transactions and stuff like that. But if at all, it would mean, so if they're running any kind of nodes and blockchain, it would mean that they are all under control of Alpha Network, which means it's not decentralized, yeah, because they would be completely in control, which means they can at any or at will manipulate transactions that are happening if it's even running on a blockchain, yeah. Other than that, like if it would be running on a blockchain, you would have like, I'm not sure if there are any fees when you send Alpha coins in-app, yeah, but there should be fees, and those fees should be variable depending on load on the blockchain and so on, yeah. So what I believe is there is no blockchain behind Alpha Network. There might be one in the future, who knows what they're doing, yeah. But all they have is like an interface that allows you to sell your Alpha coin and other people to buy it. So where people deposit USDT to the Alpha Network wallet, and then when you sell stuff, then it just tells you, okay, you now have USDT, and you can actually withdraw those USDT. But I don't think that there is a full-fledged cryptocurrency behind Alpha Network, because it just, I don't know, like there are just so many things missing and not checking out to make it a real cryptocurrency. And the big point there is, if it's not a real cryptocurrency and not running on any blockchain and so on, then it cannot be listed on other exchanges. So it's just not possible, because any other exchange would like to have a specific wallet address, would like to also know that there are nodes that are decentralized, so that the exchange cannot be scammed if they buy $10,000 or $100,000 worth of alpha coin for trading liquidity, that those coins cannot just disappear, blah, 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 and so on. So yeah, like alpha coin is really one of the weirder projects because it's definitely on the, in quotes, shadier side with like their, again, lack of proof of blockchain mostly, yeah. But on the other hand, it's also constantly, it's one of the projects that constantly brings out new things. So they're like just recently they launched a couple mobile games where they claim that a certain amount of the ad revenue that they make from those mobile games will be used to buy alpha coin on the exchange, yeah, on their own exchange, of course, which would help create or allow other people to sell their alpha coin and create some buy pressure and should help a little bit with the price, yeah. To be fair, I haven't seen any of that effect happening since they launched those mobile games, but yeah, they launched those mobile games at least, yeah. And now they launched their KYZ, which is one thing, but also their alpha auctions, which is another way. There's going to be a video about that, so make sure, you know, like, subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss that video. It's another way for people to actually cash out their alpha coin if they want to not sell them, but use them to bid on auctions for USDT amounts. And so it's really a weird project because it's lacking on some substantial things in terms of proof of blockchain, but on the other hand, it's throwing out different ways for users to actually cash out their alpha coins. So yeah, it remains to be seen how it turns out. But yeah, right now I said I don't think there is a blockchain behind it. That's why I'm not surprised that there are no other exchange listings. It also wouldn't make sense to go for other exchange listing if you have your own exchange, because you would then rather try to build up your own exchange and list other coins there, which however will not happen because their exchange again is not the way a regular exchange would work with buy and sell orders, and you know, like the ability to say, hey, I want to sell only at that price or buy only at that price and so on, yeah. So yeah, like, but yeah. Yeah, the need for KYZ should have been mentioned at the beginning of the project, not only now. That's an interesting one, yeah, and I completely agree that, I mean, I'm for KYZ in projects like Alpha Network because it means I cannot just use 5 phones or emulators to have multiple accounts and get more coins, yeah, coins in quotes. But if you look at the Alpha Network official statistics in the app, more than 80% of the coins have already been mined, yeah, and what good does KYZ do now? Because like you still can use the in-app transfer, you can still sell on the exchange even if you do not have KYZ or completed. So the only thing you need KYZ for is the new alpha auctions. And if I would have 5 fake accounts, then I probably would just use the in-app transfer to send all the coins from my duplicate accounts to my main account and then pass KYZ on that main account. So KYZ in general, if it's from the beginning, and like with Pi Network, in order to get access to your coins, you have to pass KYZ. So if you started out with 5 different accounts, well, you're shit out of luck. You can complete KYZ on one, and even that one might be getting locked for trying to scam the system, yeah? So introducing it now doesn't make much sense. But on the other hand, their KYZ weirdly is also in 2 steps, because the first steps is just enter your name, your phone number, date of birth, country of residence, and nationality. Yeah, there's no take a picture or upload your ID. It's just provide those pieces of information that you anyway free of charge share on Facebook, LinkedIn, and stuff like that. Yeah, so really nothing to worry about giving away here, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's your choice, but I'm just saying, for me personally, that's information that you give away 100 times per year everywhere else. So there are 2 more KYZ steps that are not implemented yet or not live or whatever, that probably will require an ID upload or so. But again, to use alpha auctions, you can use it already now with the limited KYZ. And again, just like the comment from Lee says, like, it just doesn't make sense to have the KYZ now. But yeah, since it's not impacting it, it's not, oh, if you don't complete the KYZ, you cannot sell on the exchange anymore. So I consider it half as bad. Yeah. Yeah, can you make a video for Cheat Moon Network? Yeah, project from Germany. I'm not sure we'll get to it, to be honest. Like, I still have a couple of other things on the list I want to catch up with first. So yeah, we'll see when I have time to look into new stuff. But right now I'm also not actively looking because yeah, I'm just busy with a lot of other stuff. But you know, you can always jump on our Discord community. It's always linked in the description of the streams and videos. And there you can actually then discuss other projects with me and the community. And very often community members already looked in a project and can tell you if it's good or bad or has potential or not. Yeah. I have 1 million Alpha coin, congratulations. So definitely one of the bigger accounts here. Actually surprised, there seem to be quite a lot of big accounts that are capable of bidding like 200,000-300,000 Alpha coin on the auction for like $40 in tier 7. Makes me wonder how it checks out with the 500 million balance or supply, but yeah, blah blah blah, that's from that. Thanks Akashi for watching as usual. How do I get in touch? Yeah, just jump on the Discord server. It's not like I don't mention it in every video. Yeah, should you download Alpha Network? That's for you to decide. I mean, I can't decide that for you. Nodl, yeah, it's still not in people's eyes as it's low profit now, but people who look far will have interest in it. Yeah, I don't know, I disagree. Like, I mean, it's on one hand Nodl Cash, oops, wrong button. So on one hand, Nodl Cash is obviously, you don't lose anything other than a little bit of your battery if you run Nodl on your phone, because it uses Bluetooth low energy for its purpose. But on the other hand, the entire use case, in my opinion, just doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you guys know Helium Network, where you have a Helium hotspot, which you cannot see, but there's one in the background, blurry, or the antenna is at least here, and the hotspot is somewhere here, to create a LoRaWAN, so a low bandwidth, long range network for IoT devices. That one hotspot covers an area of, I don't know, like 3 kilometers, or like, what's that, like 2 miles, yeah, 2 point something miles in a circle around the house mostly, yeah. And therefore it has huge coverage, yeah. Whereas Bluetooth low energy has, I think, like what, up to 50 meters or so if there are no walls and nothing, yeah. So those hotspots reach down into our basement. Bluetooth does not, yeah. So and so the idea of, like, with Bluetooth low energy, like make a way that IoT device manufacturers or other people would, in their smart devices or IoT devices, use then the Nodl protocol to transmit data, is just, in my opinion, bonkers, because you just have so many areas where you do not have a phone nearby. So if you would have some sensors or something in your basement, well, you would only get a signal if somebody walks through the basement and has Nodl installed, so that your device could reach actually another device that has it running and has internet. And then the phone might not have internet down there, so Nodl might not be able to forward the package and so on. I just feel like, while the idea in theory is nice, I think in reality it fails really, really fast. Like, same with a Helium hotspot, if I live in the ground floor of an apartment building, I can run it and it will cover a very small area because of buildings around it and whatnot, yeah, but it will still be a couple 100 meters. And if I live on the 50th floor of a skyscraper, I can also have a hotspot and will cover like a huge area, yeah, but it will not cover what's immediately close to the building, because my signal will be like this, yeah. With Nodl, if I live on the 50th floor of a building, well, my Bluetooth from my phone will not reach even my neighbors. So yeah, it doesn't serve any purpose other than help me communicate with my own devices, which I anyway can because I have Wi-Fi in the apartment, yeah. If I live on the ground floor of an apartment, yeah, my phone also will not help very much, because Bluetooth will already have a problem to go through the thick outer walls of the building. So even if there is something with a smart device on the sidewalk next to the building, I likely will not have a signal. So I feel like the use case is just not checking out, but yeah, maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm wrong here, maybe it will. So that's the point. I'm also running Nodl on 2 devices in our apartment, so the ones that I'm also running Coinapp on, and who knows, maybe someday it will be worth something. I mean, it already has a value, but it's ridiculously low, and who knows, maybe someday the project succeeds and I will be happy about the few Nodl coins or tokens, yeah, would have to check, not sure right now if it's a coin or a token, that we earned. But I just don't think that that's one of the projects that will take off over the years, yeah. So anyway, that's the last comment. There's just one that got removed, so Pi to the moon. I don't know why it got removed, because I didn't remove it, I actually replied to it, yeah. But yeah, so that's it. No more questions in the chat. So yeah, I'm gonna go hit the gym now. I hope you all have a great rest of the week. Don't forget, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, enable notifications to not miss the upcoming video about alpha auctions and a few other things I'm working on. And yeah, see you in another video, or hopefully